Yes, indeed, folks, we're capping off the show with the illusion of choice. As we always do, sharing our illusions of choice only here on Blue Please on WoW Radio, WCRadio.com. Just FYI, I am not going to be on Friday, because there'll be BlizzCon coverage. I will probably end up dialing in at some point, no doubt, to shout at them. Should be quite amusing at any rate. I'll also be guesting briefly on the Rawcast show, the BlizzCon Rawcast show, where I'll be facing off in a quiz against Terpster. And good lord, I hope he's ready for it. I have a feeling he isn't. We shall see. It'll be amusing. Yes. Looking forward to that one. Right. It's the illusion of choice. So, let me find a good one. And it is simply this. Hi TB. This is from Avitas. Sorry, I'm just saying hello to my wife, who's just landed and is getting ready for yet another landing. So, everyone say hi to Jen in the RC channel. Have a good one. Okay, thanks. Bye. There we go. Right. So this is from Avitas. He says this. Thought I'd make a suggestion for the new illusion of choice, and which would be the dulling down of WoW to improve people's interest in the supposedly new game that Blizzard is making. Okay. What I was thinking about was the reuse of content, the dulling down of instances and gear, making it more accessible for everyone and everyone's ults, and their mums would not be to get people into raiding or making it easier, but instead to have people dislike WoW more and more, but on the other hand having all players getting their satisfaction, which could result in a chain of people thinking they would be even more like the other players in the game, which in turn will turn people away from the game, probably to another game, and when Blizzard then launches their new game, they'll get back en masse since they had awesome times in WoW. The bottom line is, even though I think I poorly described it, do you reckon Blizzard is making a set timeline for their player base to leave the game, so they will play the new game instead of staying playing WoW? No, they're not, because that would be silly. Here's the thing, right? Just like politicians have something called political capital, certain companies have a currency that they like to call goodwill. Yeah? Customer goodwill, consumer goodwill. And consumer goodwill, of course, is acquired by constantly making good decisions and good products that benefit the consumer base. And it is then expended on doing things which are slightly less popular, as a company generally has to do. Every now and again, you've got to make a decision for the benefit of the company, which is not quite as popular. So, you spend it there. Now, Blizzard is running quite low in terms of goodwill. Their wallets are emptying somewhat with a string of rather bad decisions. Which means that were Blizzard to announce a new MMO, say at BlizzCon, which is possible, and they were deliberately trying to get people to hate WoW so that they went to play the new MMO, that's not going to work. Because they're not going to have any goodwill left. Yeah? If they make a string of bad decisions in WoW, then the response of any sane and smart man is quite simply this. Why should I trust them to not make the same mistakes in this other MMO? Since they seem to be consistently making them here in their very, very popular game. Why would I take the risk? And the answer is, well, if you had any sense, you wouldn't. So, no, they're not doing that at all. Why would they drive people away from a product which can sustain itself probably for many more years to come? I would imagine. For God's sake, people are still playing Ultima Online. People still play EverQuest, all the other older games. WoW may be losing subscribers, but it's not losing them at such a great rate that it's hemorrhaging them to the point where WoW will be dead within a week. Not going to happen. It's going to go on for years. We're going to see level 100, no doubt. We'll see all of those other areas. We will finally see the Maelstrom and all that other stuff. It'll happen. We will eventually get to fight a level 100 Elite Hogger. Maybe finally the piggy will be released. In fact, maybe Cataclysm will release the piggy. Maybe after 4 years. Those of you who remember the old Blue Please episodes, I campaigned to free the poor Quillbore that was kept down in Camp Tarajo. Perhaps they will finally free the piggy. Or perhaps they will finally drown the piggy. Who knows? Maybe the piggy will just get old and die. Rather depressing, really. Oh well. No, they're not doing that. That's not a good idea. Right, here's what I think. Here's what I think is happening. They're developing a game which is so different to WoW that they're going to be able to bring in an entirely new audience. What they're also doing is creating a parachute, yeah? It's an escape hatch, if you were, for those who actually don't really like WoW anymore but are sticking around simply because they don't have anything better to do. Yeah, to give them an alternative to play another Blizzard product which is more suited to their liking is a smart business move. It is not, however, a smart business move to deliberately kill your successful game. Why would you do that? Especially when you're taking a risk on a product which may or may not sell well. We don't know that it's going to sell well. We don't know that it's going to be any good. Nobody knows that. We don't even know what it's called. For God's sake, we don't know what kind of genre it is. All we know is it's going to be an MMO of some description. That doesn't really narrow it down very much. So no, all of these conspiracy theories, and that's what they really are. Conspiracy theories are people saying, well, they're bringing it to the point where the new MMO is going to look amazing in comparison by killing their own game. Anything could happen between then and now. The new MMO might run out of funding. It seems very unlikely. The entire design team may quit. Activision may turn around and say, no, actually, we don't want that. Anything could happen. Their Blizzard HQ can explode, taking all the code with it. I don't know. I have no idea. All of these possible things could happen. It might happen. There may be a great flood. Indeed, the entire world may be swamped. Who knows? So they're not going to take a risk like that. It makes no sense. It's illogical from a business perspective. You know, businesses aren't children. They don't act like spoiled high school brats. They don't make rash and bizarre decisions like that. It just doesn't happen. I understand why some people may think that it would be that. It's like, you're looking for a rationale. Yeah? You're looking for a rhyme and a reason behind Blizzard's decisions. Here's a hint, there isn't one. Blizzard are not this godlike monolithic developer that can do no wrong, and that everything that appears to be wrong is actually just part of some grand scheme that will come together at the end of it into a glorious shower of beautiful topless women. And gold flying from the sky, and rainbows, and kittens. That's not gonna happen, folks. It's not. They're just making bad decisions. There is no rhyme or reason. There is no grand conspiracy. There is no underlying Illuminatus plot. They're just making bad calls, like every developer does every now and again. They are not infallible. They're not a sacred cow. They should not be held up on a pedestal. They're not perfect. Don't look for these things. If anything, you're just giving them more leeway to make bad decisions. What you as the player base have to do is come down hard whenever they do this, and make it clear to them that this kind of thing is not acceptable. You don't be a backwards apologist. You're an apologist, but you don't even know it if you believe in these kind of things. Yeah? It's as simple as that. You're an apologist and you don't even know it, and that's the worst kind. And again, I would say, oh, well, it's a smoke and mirrors trick by Blizzard, but no, they're not capable of organising something like that. They don't have that kind of control. They're not that smart when it comes to manipulating their player base. They still have barely realised that a lot of their decisions amount to social engineering within the game. Literally. You see all of the effects that these decisions have on the player base. It's quite absurd. But it happens. It really does. Don't give them that benefit of the doubt. Even if you think you are criticising them, you're not. You are falling into a trap of your own making. Don't believe the conspiracy theories and just believe what Occam's Razor tells you to be true, which is that they are a developer who made some mistakes. And the best way to stop them from making the mistakes is not to come up with crazy-ass conspiracy theories. It's to turn around and say, "Oi! Blizzard! Now! This is not acceptable!" Well, don't say it like that, because you sound ridiculous. But you need to make it clear to them that these kind of things are not acceptable, and speak with one voice in a mature and constructive manner. And failing that, get a radio show on WoW Radio where you shout at everyone for an hour and a half. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Total Biscuit. You have been listening to Blue Please here on WoW Radio. Shout out time for the last 5 minutes of the show, get your shout-outs right over to me via Twitter, if you wish, at TotalBiscuit. Alternatively, email themoloch@gmail.com or send me a PM on irc.mmo.irc.com, hash or pound. Wow, radio. Whichever you prefer, I am totally open to all of them. Just do it. Send it over. It will be awesome. So let's have a look at the mailbag and see what we have. A shout out to My Guild Devotion on Steam Whittle Cartel EU for downing Hodir hard mode. Very nice. Realm 3rd and Council hard mode. Realm 1st. Ooh, very good, very good. Can I get a cataclysm / salute to Ken Bloodhoof? Was nice having you around. / strangle to Garash Hellscream. Go jump in a lake of lava, you mindless childish fruit. What? And a shout out to Bone Main for trying to keep RP alive on Argent Dawn EU. A shout out to Gnomes, Bloodstock Crew, the Cantina Crusade, Harry Potter fanfic erotica, and yourself, good sir. That's from John Q. A shout out to Erdon and the Shields Gazette for putting up with me for a week and making me write all the crappiest articles, and to my dad for making me push his car halfway across South Shield when it broke down. South Shield is a grim place, folks. It really is. I need a shout out to all of the Aeon Online crew. Can't wait to see TB in it. You're going to be waiting a while there. That's from Thor. A shout out to the Bloodstock crew for being awesome. That's from Tremolo. Shout out to Thor and Loki on IRC. That's from Odin. That's a lot of Vikings we got here. A shout out to my guild philanthropists on the Twilight Hammer EU and not the crap players. A shout out to my fellow officers for demoting 2 of the worst officers I've ever seen. That's from Izami. A shout out to all of the WoW players playing Diablo 2, waiting for more content. You're going to be waiting a while. A shout out to the Golden Shield Club on Hon, that's Heroes of New Earth from S2 Games. A shout out to the second Jomanga Worm, whom is always overshadowed by his brother. Here's to you, Jomanga Worm number 2. The world may think you're not as good as your brother, but I see the truth. That's from some random WoW radio guy. A shout out to Hornshade for marrying me and healing me at the wedding. What? Can I have a epic all hail Botal Tisket? I hate you so much. Epic! A shout out to Quinlan on Moonguard US for being a really OP mage. Shout out to LOL Another on Azure Mist US. That's from Saracen. And a shout out to the majority of my guild, the Bakers of Muffington, on Illidan US for entering the first year of college, the vast majority of them. Very good education, very good. Especially during a recession, very helpful. A shout out to my roommate that refuses to do the dishes. Motivate him for me. How? Okay, this is what you do, right? If you want to clean the dishes really quickly, you do this. There we go, all clean. My listeners hate me, especially for things like that. A shout out to my son from his dad. Now get your lazy ass downstairs, it's dinner time. That's from Tom Fisk. Oh dear, I appear to be causing some family strife, domestic disputes there. A little bit worrying, nonetheless. Oh well, never mind. And should we get any on Twitter? If Twitter would work, I would happily shout out on Twitter. Unfortunately, it doesn't. So one last shout out to Tank and Healer, who have been two-manning Heigen from 3% for the last 20 minutes. That is from Tardy Clock. Ladies, gentlemen, children of all ages, I am out of here. I will see you most likely next Friday. Yep, not this Friday, next Friday. That's the 30th of August 2009 for the aftermath of BlizzCon. Yes, indeed. I'm going to go out with another track from Sabaton. Remember, go check out the flag. It's awesome. Check out the front page, wcradio.com, or the auction, tinyurl.com/wcradioflag. Help me recoup some of the costs. Would be awesome. Thank you very much. This is Sabaton. This is Cliffs of Gallipoli. Good night.